Surprise, surprise, it looks like Gotenks may be the December double rates LR. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we have the next teaser for the December double rates LR, and the answer is pretty obvious, and it does mean that likely we were correct. But let's go ahead, let's take a look at the teaser real quick, and then let's talk about what it means. We're going to talk about in this video who we think this represents, who's going to be on the double rates banner, and when you can expect it. So real quick, let's just play the thing here. You can see we have a 7 and an 8 sort of wobbling in here and then coming together. I don't know about y'all, but to me, that screams Gotenks, right? And I say this for a multitude of reasons, but number one, right, Goten is canonically 7 during the Majin Buu saga, where Trunks is 8. It does seem that they're kind of like wobbling together. Seems like two kids performing the fusion dance, especially as they're coming together, so could mean something else, but I honestly have no idea what else this could possibly represent in Dragon Ball. So if you know, if you think you have a better idea, then let us know in the comments down below. But we're going to go ahead and operate this video based on the likelihood that it is Gotenks. And I just want to say, right, we did kind of call it. Everybody was anticipating Vegito. Of course, we know why that is, right? For some reason, all of the evidence was pointing to Vegito, but as we showed in our other video right here, as we showed in this video, there was more evidence to suggest that Gotenks, in fact, was not the Cope opinion, in that there was a lot of evidence to suggest he was going to be the likely candidate, you know, especially given, right, all of the promotional material for the campaign seems to be centered around Ultimate Gohan and Goten and Trunks. The inevitable showdown having specifically fusion missions, which, you know, specifically a full fusion team mission too, as well, on top of the Redstone offering Gotenks as one of the, you know, one of the candidates, considering all of the other units have gotten units this year. So the only other possibility to me would have suggested a Kid Buu, but Gotenks did seem very, very likely to be a candidate here. Definitely not as much of a Cope opinion, I would say. And, you know, it feels kind of nice to be vindicated once in a while. So with that in mind, let's proceed forward. Let's talk about a couple of things. Number one, what is his lead? When can we expect the banner, and who can we expect the banner to be? So I am pretty confident that he will have at least Majin Buu Saga for 200% as his lead. And we did go over that before because of, for several factors, right? Number one, we do have the Super Saiyan 2s, right? The Tech Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, Majin Vegeta, and Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3 Goku. They are easy Aing, and while transformation boost-wise, Goku fits on the lead, Vegeta does not, of the Buuhan recently released. Unless you're counting the Golden Weeks, they don't fit on the modern, on the new release, which makes me think that whatever this Part 2 LR is going to have Majin Buu Saga. Combine that with the fact that, right, you have the Super Easy A Ultimate Gohan as well, who doesn't fit on that lead, and they don't have it here on the wiki, but the STR Grand Supreme Kai from the Buuhan banner is not on Buuhan's lead, so I think it's pretty likely he's going to lead Majin Buu Saga to some degree. Now, him being Gotenks and already being somewhat of a limited card, there is a non-zero chance that he could have a secondary leader skill like AGL Jiren, could possibly lead Special Pose or Youth as a secondary, but I do believe Majin Buu Saga is probably going to be his primary lead. Could be wrong there, but it does seem like the likely scenario. Now, let's talk about when this banner is going to be before we start talking about who's going to be on it. So, all right, we can see here that the global sales end on the 10th. And so the Elder Kai banner ends a day later on the 11th. It is currently, as of me recording this, midnight on the 9th. So I am anticipating that in about 20 hours we get the Twitter reveals, and then the banner released the following day by the 11th, the 12th for most other players. So that's probably the most likely scenario. So in about 2 days time we should see the banners in game, and that's just going based off of the sales here. It does seem like the most likely scenario. Now, with that in mind, Global has the opportunity to do something really, really special in terms of who's going to be on the banner. Smart thing to do, knowing that JP will in fact return Jiren on their double rates banner, this double rates banner. Global could introduce Jiren here this way as well, and just keep both banners in the same. It'll be an entirely new banner for Global, but it makes sense. This is probably the least likely scenario, but it is the smartest scenario, just to not, inundate players with tons of extra banners as we're approaching New Year's. Remember, we still have the New Year's Dokkan Fest coming up, as well as the step-ups leading into the anniversary. So an extra banner, probably not the smartest idea, but I also feel like they might be doing something similar to what they did at Black Friday for Christmas as well. So that's probably where they're going to introduce Jiren, but it would be nice if they introduced him on the global banner since he will be on the JP banner, and we know he's going to be on the JP banner because if we look at last year's Super Saiyans banner, right, they had the Super Saiyan trio, the LR 5 guys, who was the previous year's Carnival LR, and then the Tanabata LR with the Omega Shenron. So given that, it's pretty likely that on JP, this should be the new Gotenks, the LR Super Saiyans, and the LR Jiren. No more LRs than that. The double rates banners typically don't have any more than that. It's just the two. And then on Global, it's going to be looking a little similar, but a little different, right? The Super Saiyans are probably going to return here, or could be Omega, remember, because the Super Saiyans did return recently, but then again, so did Omega, so either one of them could probably fill one of these slots, and then, of course, the new units, and then this could be Jiren here, or likely, if they unless they put both the Super Saiyans and Omega on the banner once again, then I think it's pretty likely, or it could be the Gammas, actually. They did mention the Gammas might return soon on Global, so it's possible. But I think it's likely that we're just going to see a filler yellow coin here, or the Super Saiyans and Omega on Global. As far as the rest of the banner goes, right, it's going to be just typical fodder banner units, typical double rates, carnival banner status stuff, but some of the units may indicate some sub EZAs that we could be getting, right? The Buhan's banner, Buhan is not on the banner, this Int Buhan. However, he is featured as one of the Redstone units, and his EZA is permanently available for the duration of the month. To me, this seems like we could see a likely Boo Piccolo on the banner, and possibly seeing his sub EZA within the celebration as well. We could also see the sub EZA for the Tien, who has a high likelihood of being on the banner, as well as the Int Supreme Kai. These all three of their units that they released with have already received an EZA, so there's a good chance they could be on the banner. Otherwise, right, just probably expect a bunch of filler Majin Buu Saga units, right? Like, you could probably see the Gotenks and Piccolo, or maybe the Int Goten and Tech Trunks could be on the banner. Maybe the Int Hercule, right? It'll be just some fodder filler units more than likely. If it is a Gotenks, right, we could see AGL Gotenks from the one who already received his sub-EZA, or some of these other random Gotenkses here, right? Like, where is he? Like this AGL one or the STR one. Hard to say exactly when it comes to these banner units, but I mean, just know that there's going to be quite a few of them. So, that's pretty much it, guys. That's who I think is going to be on the banner. That's who I think is likely to be led, right? The category is to be led by a possible LR Gotenks and when it should appear. If you guys like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know, what do you think this hint means? I'm pretty confident that it does mean Gotenks. I don't really see what else it could be. But if you think it was something, let us know in the something else. Let us know in the comments down below. It feels kind of nice to be vindicated knowing that Gotenks is very likely here, but I'm curious to see what you guys are thinking in the comments down below. So guys, that's it for the video. If nothing else, thanks for watching, and aloha.